Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be looking at serial numbers and batch numbers. And I'll start by briefly describing what these two guys do. Starting with the serial numbers are basically that kind of an identifier you put on an item so that you know which item that is exactly. So these are found mostly in electronic gadgets like refrigerators, like laptop computers, desktop computers, mobile phones, and so on and so forth. So even if you have, say, like 5 or 10 mobile phones, you'd like to have a way of identifying each and every one of those mobile phones. So if you look at the back of every mobile phone, you're going to find a code there that is written as SN and then something. That's the serial number. It's also going to be found in any laptop. And then on the other side, batch numbers are used to group, rather to identify groups of items. And what is the essence of identifying groups of items? You want to identify groups of items for those items that you want to track things like the expiry dates. Something like pharmaceuticals. You do not want to have medication in your pharmacy that is mixed up. You want to know which medication came first, which carton, and then which carton came next, and then which carton came next. These are also supposed to be grouped probably by date. So the carton that came first, you're expecting that holding all factors constant, that it's supposed to also have an expiry date that is nearer than the carton that comes later. So that is why you want to group those items, and that also helps you to know how to sell your items, because if you have a carton that came earlier, you like to sell those items earlier. We are going to see how that is going to come in handy as we go through the demo. And because I don't want us to have a lot of theory, we are going to go straight to the demo. Let me go to the item here, and I have created two items already. So the first item is a OnePlus 10T. OnePlus 10T is a type of a mobile phone that is very nice. OnePlus. And they have not paid me to do this, so this is the phone. So OnePlus 10T, and then in the inventory section, remember I showed you how to create this item, so I don't have to go there. If you don't know what any of these details is, please refer to my earlier video. So if I go to inventory here and I scroll down to the bottom, you see where we have serial numbers and batches. All you need to do is to check this serial number, has serial number field checkbox. So if I was creating a new item here, let me show you. This is going to be something that I can check. Let me go to inventory, and you see that in the serial numbers, this is something I can actually check. Once I check it, the other thing I need to do here, which is not mandatory, is to provide a series. But I would encourage you to provide a series so that you know what so that the system makes it gets a way of generating those things for you sometimes automatically when you don't have to really enter them. All right. But you will find that most of the time serial numbers are things you know, because if you are buying a mobile phone, for example, you're not buying a mobile phone and then you come and manufacture your own serial number. The mobile phone already has a serial number, so you may not need this here really. But if you are manufacturing your own things, because remember this is an ERP which could be used by people who are making these manufacturers, this is where you're going to put the serial number series, like a kind of, we can even call it quote unquote template of how you want our serial number to look like. All right. Then we go back. So you see, for example, for the OnePlus, I have instructed the system to do 1P, and then I want 5 numbers there. And that's all the setting we need. And let me show you that in action. We are going to go and do a purchase order. And here we are going to create a new purchase order. And in the purchase order, we want to buy OnePlus 10T. Remember, this is the item that has a serial number. And then we say we need it by 25th, and we want 3 of them. Okay. Now remember that I told you that serial numbers are used to identify individual items. So we are buying 3 of these mobile phones, and therefore we are supposed to have 3 serial numbers for that. So if I save that and I submit, of course nothing is going to happen. Let me show you. We have not created the serial numbers yet. There is a document called serial number. You notice that here we don't have any serial number that has been created now. But why is that? It's because we have not yet received these things. So this is just a purchase order. So we need to create a receipt, purchase receipt, so that we can receive those things into our warehouse. All right. Now here, all we need to do is to click on save and submit. Save and submit. Now when we do that, the system will automatically create 3 serial numbers. Let's see. You see these 3, 1, 2, 3, and you also see the series that we specified in the item. These are the serial numbers that have been generated for our stock. And you must not come to serial numbers to see them. When you are still on your purchase receipt, if you click on view and you click on even stock ledger, you see here we even have serial stroke batch numbers. That's going to bring you here directly, and you can see them. Here they are. Yeah, so you can see them there. You may also want to see it as a group. So if you come to this and go to stock ledger, you notice that this is the ledger. This is what has happened to the ledger, just one entry. But when you come here, you see here where we have the serial and batch bundle. There is one SABB and then this number here. If I click on this, it's going to take me here. So this is the number. This is the SABB number. This is the serial and batch bundle, and these are the serial numbers. So the ERP also groups the serial numbers into batches so that you can easily track them. So if you buy, for example, 12 mobile phones in a carton, they are going to have, even if their serial numbers are different, they are going to have, they are going to be grouped rather into one serial number bundle. Now that is for the case when you want it to auto-generate. What if we don't want it to auto-generate? And before that, maybe I can also show you how we do it using a stock entry. So in the stock entry here, the stock entry type, we can say it's material receipt still. And then here we can just say that the target warehouse is stores. We don't have a source because we are probably buying it. And this is 1T, and we want to receive 2 more. And that's it. If we save and submit, that is going to submit that. And if you come to serial numbers, we are going to have 2 more serial numbers created with the same format. You notice that? The same format. Now we don't want this format because these are mobile phones. We want to assume that we have bought 2 more. So we do a stock entry again. And this stock entry, you say it's material receipt, and the target warehouse is still going to be stores. The item is still going to be our 1 plus, and there are 2 of them. Now if you click on this edit, remember what you want to do here is a situation where we already have the serial numbers. They have come, the serial numbers has come with the consignment. So we click on this one, and then we scroll down to where we have the serial number. You'll see the serial number field. So if you check let me just leave here, for example, and open one of these guys. If you check these down here, you notice that we don't seem to have that field here, but we have this serial number bundle. So this is what attaches this entry to the bundle, which I already explained to you. Okay, so we create our own. Now we create the other one now, which is material receipt, and the target warehouse is going to be stores. Item code is going to be our item code, and we want 2 of them. Then we open here, and this is where, ladies and gentlemen, we specify the serial numbers. So for example, we can just do some arbitrary number there, and then we do another arbitrary number like that. Okay, and that's what we need to do. And by the way, let me show you something. Let me remove this for now, and I save. Now what I want to show you is that we have, let me save. I need to put a rate here. This is 1 plus. 1 plus, I'm going to do a rate of maybe 78,000, and then I save. Now notice that we are buying 2 1 plus mobile phones, but in the serial numbers we have specified one serial number. The system is not supposed to accept that, because how can you buy two items that have a serial number, and then when you come to specify the serial numbers, you put one? Remember that each item has to be identified uniquely, so it's not supposed to allow us to submit this document. Let's try and see that. You see that? It has refused. It says total quantity 1 of serial number batch. This one is not equal to actual quantity 2. And that complaint is all because of the serial number that is missing. So if we put that one there and we save, now it's going to allow us to submit. And there you go. And now when you come to serial numbers and you refresh, you notice that these two are the ones that we have just created. And also, if you come here to this document, you notice that now it has also attached a serial and batch bundle to it. And just like that, if you click on this and go to stock ledger, you're also going to notice that this is the bundle that has been attached there. There you go. That's how we do serial numbers. Now, how about batch numbers? Batch numbers are not so different, because remember, the only difference is that serial numbers are for identifying individual items. Batch numbers are for identifying groups of items that have a possible there must be a reason why you want to identify groups of items, and most of the time these reasons are expiration dates. So we go here and we can go to item again so that I can show you what I did. And I created an item called Panadol 500 milligrams. This Panadol 500 milligrams, again, when I went to inventory, down here there is a check for has batch number, and I should show you this in a new tab. If I come here and I do inventory, you see here has batch number. If I click has batch number, the other check boxes pop up. One of them says automatically create new batch. What this basically means is that it will help you or facilitate to create new batches of items. You can do that, by the way, because that is your business and you want to identify these items your way, so you can mark that. And then here all you need to do is to specify a series. Okay, and then this has expiration date. Does something. You notice that up here we have what we are calling shelf life in days, but notice that it is not required now. The moment I check that this thing has expiry date, this thing becomes mandatory, so you cannot save without shelf life in days. And shelf life in days basically means how many days it is going to be good for use from the date of manufacture. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So after you have done that, the next thing you're going to do is to just create a stock entry again, or a purchasing or a purchase order, whichever you like. So let me go to stock entry here, and then I'm going to do this is a material receipt again, and the target warehouse is going to be stores, and the item this time is Panadol 500. You see, this one wants me to specify the batch that I'm doing. But remember that we told the system that it can generate. Let me see whether we have allowed it to generate automatically. So as long as we have this automatically checked, we don't have to specify that. So this is going to be pan and 4 digits. So we can ignore that pop-up, and then here we say we want to receive 5 and the rate of 450. Now remember, in the serial number, when you specified 5 here, when we went to serial numbers, we had 5 records, for example. So when we specified 2, we had 2. When we specified 3, we had 3. Now in the batch, things are going to be a little bit different. Let me show you. You see, this one is 5. So when we save and submit, remember that we did not specify the series, so it's supposed to generate the series itself. If we come to batch, there is something that came up now, and you notice that it is only 1. So why is it 1? And you see that the batch quantity is saying it's 5. If you open it, that's all the information it has. There is no table inside here. So what this tells you is that, let me close that. What this tells you is that the batch number is used, like I told you, to group specific items. And therefore, now how do we use these things when we are selling? Because now we have created 2 items, and they also have batch numbers. One of them has batch numbers, the other one has serial numbers. So how does it come in handy when you are selling? Let me show you. If you go to sales invoice, if you go to sales invoice and you create a new sales invoice here, see the magic that's going to happen, and specify the date is today. You see this scan barcode here. This scan barcode does not only scan barcodes, and this is what very many people don't know. This scan barcode does not mean you have to generate a barcode and put it in your system. No, you can scan a batch number, for example. So if I pick this batch number here and I put it here, it's going to fetch my item. You see, Panadol 500. I come and I pick another one. For example, let me even put this one again. I put that one again, it adds 2. You see, I put it again, it does 3. I put it again, does 4. I put it again, does 5. Put it again, does 6. You see that? That's how simple this thing is. Let me get that back to 1. And then I'm going to set it maybe at the rate of say 500, and that's it. Now the other thing that we had is serial. So if again we go to serial number and we pick the serial number we had, and we come and put the serial number here, it's picking our phone, you see, and that is going to pick the exact phone. It's not a guesswork, it's the exact. So it's not going to pick if you, for example, enter this serial number, it's not going to pick this, it will pick this specific one. So that is what is going to be happening, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how we use serial numbers and batches. If you have any question, please drop it on the comment section below. I'll be happy to assist. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video.